Hey, it's Tom. Today I've got a question from a reader, and the question is short and sweet. It's, does NLP stick? It's an interesting phraseology in that this idea of NLP sticking on to somebody or something. NLP is much more than just a set of techniques or a series of questions or mind voodoo or any of the rest of that. NLP at its core is really about how to be able to improve performance. Putting aside for a moment this idea of stick and taking the language that somebody says literally, which by the way is also a useful thing to do sometimes because you'll get real gems of wisdom about how they are representing or how they are thinking about whatever it is that they're communicating. But just going with what I believe this person means is, does NLP stick? Does it work? The answer is absolutely. Does NLP stick? It can completely stick, and it can completely bomb. Just like I could ask you, does a camera work? Yes, it does work. When it works. When it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay? In the context of NLP and neuro-linguistic programming is it absolutely can stick. It does stick. I've personally done change work both with myself and with other people, clients, that has gone and lasted for years and years and years. I'll give you an example. Somebody came to me, a husband and his wife had an issue. An issue she had to do with basically some, I suppose, parent-child relationship, we'll basically call it that, where her mum made her feel, to use her language, really bad. And she wanted to be able to change that. She wanted to be able to do something different. What she wanted was not to feel so crappy anytime her mum gave her a specific look. And this lady had been living with this situation that her mum, as she described it, could click her fingers essentially and make her feel bad. And then she would feel bad for hours at a time. So in this case, using literally a 15-minute or so intervention, making some changes, helping her find a new somatic response, which is a response in terms of her body, so that when her mum gave her that look, rather than collapsing and feeling really bad and having internal dialogue, which was in NLP speak her strategy. So trigger was, if you're familiar with NLP, the trigger was in this case mother's look, frowning at me. Then that would act as the trigger. Next, she would immediately hear a voice in her head that said, something along the lines, if I recall, oh, she's giving me that look again. And then she would immediately feel really bad. And I'll give you the rest of it, but we're not going to dive into the details of the technique right now in her process. I want to highlight what happened next. What happened next was when I did the intervention with her and broke a few anchors, set up some new anchors, which is a different way for her to respond, so that when her mother gave her that look, that immediately she started laughing. Inside, first on the inside. And when she started laughing on the inside, she found that laughter and smile and grin began, should I say, to present itself on the outside. And all I did was a quick rehearsal, if you will, several times with her on how to do that by guiding her through a process. And bingo. Followed up with this lady a few weeks later, said, how's it going? And she said, I cannot believe it, oh my God. She goes, my mother came to visit the other week. She gave me that look when I told her I had done this, and I found myself bursting into laughter, and I couldn't believe it. I thought all this NLP stuff was just nonsense. I didn't think anything had changed that day, and I couldn't understand or explain why I was bursting out laughing. And what was great, she said, was that my mother hated it. She just hated the fact that I was laughing. And the more she seemed to get upset about it, the more I laughed. Now, in this case, we'll get over in terms of dynamics and, how her mum was. I'm sure they've adjusted in time to that. I believe actually they have. But what was powerful for her was that a simple 15-minute conversation resulted in her having a profoundly different experience of something that had previously and for decades been a very negative trigger and response, and one that she couldn't, in one sense, feel that she could control. So NLP definitely does stick, but I'm not a salesman in the sense of selling people false hopes and dreams. NLP may also, and NLP per se is again a label on this case, but if you're working with somebody who's a change agent with NLP, they may do some work, or you yourself may have picked up a book and gone through a technique, and you may have got a change for a period, as in a period of time, and then after that you lapsed back, or the old behavior occurred or returned. In which case, it's not that NLP didn't work. Make sure that you contextualize, you look at what's going on. And in that case, it's most likely that either the person you're working with, the approach that they took, or if you did it yourself and you followed the particular technique or process, that didn't work. That way of trying to create the behavioral change didn't stick. In which case, I would suggest that the smart thing to do is to try and do something different. Go at it another way. Find either somebody else who can help get you change, or you may go back to the same person and tell them what's going on, and they realize, okay, we missed off a piece. I've now got to, do some more change work. Or if it's yourself, approach it, make sure that you've understood what the problem is and the solution that you've got, and use a different technique. Yeah, it won't be that NLP didn't work in that context. It's just the NLP technique you did and how you implemented it, that didn't work. Okay? By doing that, you'll find that you'll get tremendous value from situations that seem to be failures, but in fact are learning points, and can allow you to get much more from each of the things that you learn, that you do, especially when it comes to NLP. Hey guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts, your suggestions, what it is that you would like me to do more of on this channel. So please submit your suggestions below on the comment box for this video, and also make sure to hit the subscribe and like button. And I will make sure to do the best to create more great videos and resources that are useful and practical for you. Thanks for watching.